Why don't you believe in Gigantopithecus or Bigfoot?
For one, Gigantopithecus is a Bigfoot. For another, Gigantopithecus is a jawbone. That's all they got, is a freaking jawbone.
My name's Kyle Upton. One of my friends showed me some videos, basically, of footage of a known Bigfoot. And then the more and more I dove into it, the more questions arose in my mind about there could really be something out there.
My name's Blake Crosley, and I'm a skeptic about Bigfoot.
And I was total skeptic at first, just like, everybody else. Who's going to believe a giant ape lives in the woods? It's stupid to think that, obviously.
Until I see a body or a skeleton or better video or eyewitness account, I'm not going to believe it.
Well, where we're going to go tomorrow is a place, part of the Kiamichi Mountains. My friend has some land down there, and there was a Bigfoot sighting last weekend. So these sightings happen in this area a lot. I don't know what these people are seeing,
There's people out there that this is all they do. They go and they look for Bigfoot and they look for Bigfoot and they look for Bigfoot. And if they saw something, they might go a little wacky.
I know there is something other that wasn't a gorilla. It wasn't a bear. It was real and it was huge.
I know too many people have seen something they can't compare it to. They look like what? I've never seen anything look like that before.
And I saw this object standing in the middle of the road,
He was like a gorilla, but he had long, reddish, brownish hair that was matty looking.
As I pulled in right beside of it, I guess he hit it, because my driver's side and the door glass just shattered to pieces,
Hi, Mom.
And that's...
His arms are a lot longer than an average person's.
He has the ability to shape-shift.
Standing right in the middle of the road, And so I just drove right past him. Boy, this windshield, it just shattered, exploded,
He still knows molecular change, and he can go from Bigfoot into a hawk or whatever he needs to do to get away and not be sighted.
If he is in fact here, I will find him.
And man used to know shape-shifting. He could go to his powers, and he was able to tap into his powers, and he recognized all of the powers that we do have around the earth that we deny ourselves today. But Bigfoot doesn't deny that. He can shape-shift, and he could go into an animal that we're not interested in.
Bigfoot seems to be a hominoid, a creature that may in fact be closer to an ape, an anthropoid, but because of evolution is bipedal, is about 6.5 to 8 feet tall, completely covered in hair.
It's a very, very rare, intelligent, very shy, reclusive animal with a population density that's just not very large at all.
The most notoriously difficult animals to capture, let alone observe, are animals that are solitary, nocturnal, and have a large home range. And that's exactly what we're dealing with.
I think it is a bona fide scientific mystery. Because it's enough to make you go, it's not in that realm of, oh, we saw a goblin and a horny leprechaun the other day. This is something, these stories are persistent, and it matches something that we know exists, like mountain gorillas. And if you're even vaguely familiar with the phenomena, you know that it took a long time to find mountain gorillas and other primates like orangutans. It was the wild men of Borneo. That was what the orangutans were, and then they finally discovered one. So it has that kind of, based on previous incidents in the history of scientific discovery, wow, that could maybe be this too.
I want to find maybe like a footprint. Obviously I don't think we'll find Bigfoot, just because there's people who, just like Blake was saying, spend their whole lives going out looking for Bigfoot. So I don't think that just in our little weekend excursion we're going to see something.
Well, I just hope that we don't get shot, because it's going to be the first day of rifle season. Plus, the guy we're going with told us some pretty bad stories about crazy mountain people that live back in the woods.
Like Deliverance?
Yeah. I don't want anybody to try to
make you squeal like a pig?
Make me squeal like a pig, because I don't really like that. But
scientists predict that we'll discover 20,000 new species this year on this planet. There's a whole litany of animals included in that, from small, very small, maybe slugs or insects, to large primates. The Highland mangabey was just discovered this year. And of course, the rediscovery of the ivory-billed woodpecker, which is a huge bird. He's diurnal, that is, he's very active during the day, he's loud, and yet it took a team of 30 plus full-time researchers and 30 plus part-time researchers.
For a solid year, these people were being paid to be there. I don't know how many millions of dollars was spent.
Fully funded by Cornell University and others.
And they come up with 4 seconds of fuzzy film footage of the ivory-billed woodpecker.
When we go out in the field, we can only go out there for 4 to 5 days. And then we've got to go home because there's no funding. The only funding comes from our wallets.
What would we find if we had those type of resources placed on this creature?
What are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something. Looks like a man. I don't know what it was. Just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sure.
Tia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's real big, that's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
If just one of the thousands of stories and footprints, anecdotes, Native American legends, just one of those represents an actual physical being, then the phenomena is true. If just one, so the alternate theories that they're all misidentification and or hallucination or fabrication. That to me is harder to swallow.
To the left. That's what I call it. Left? Yeah. I have a salamander in my pants.
Takes us about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get up this hill. And we get to the tree, the big tree.
This is the tree that we saw from the helicopter. And it's about, gosh, I guess 50, 60, 70 feet.
You move 3 feet in this stuff, and you can't see what you just saw. It's that thick. It's parts of it are like machete thick jungle, rainforesty stuff.
It is thick like Vietnam movies.
This is a spot, roughly I'd say within 5 feet where Daryl and I were standing 10 years ago. And back up there about 40 feet, maybe even 35 feet, there's a big log. It was dark, and I could tell that was part of the log, but there were these 2 big brown eyes low down stared at us. They started swaying back and forth.
So like, okay, this is an animal of some type, and it's not acting like a bear. I mean, bears don't stare you out, and a cougar really won't stare you out, and it's pretty big. It appears to be pretty big.
We decided if we separated, maybe instinctually it was going to think that we were trying to surround it. and then it would move and we could see it more clearly. So I got down about 10, 15 feet. He starts moving this way a little bit toward me, and I was actually, my back was turned to him, and then he wheeled around and started taping back up the hill again. Back up the hill?
Okay, now, I'm crying at this moment, so excuse my voice.
And all of a sudden I hear him, they go, oh, oh, they're like, ah, and he's like, okay, and he is shook up. I mean, voice has gone up about an octave. He's like pointing like this. He's like, I can see him doing this. I'm over here, and he's like, okay, it's right here.
Okay, now, it's right here. You can see it.
About 30, 35 feet, I would say, back from the camera. Sticking out of this bush, roughly 5 feet up off the ground, is what appears to be this huge Schwarzeneggerian mountain gorillian upper arm sticking out of the side of this bush. And the other thing, it stops right here. It's white, what appears to be like a big bulging deltoid, hourglassing down to a bicep and a tricep, and then a space right here, like a pit, an armpit. So I remember thinking, okay, if that's true, let's test this hypothesis. If that's what it is, then perhaps if you go at there should be, if you go at a 45-degree angle up from the tip of this purported shoulder, there should be some semblance of a head. And lo and behold, you go up, and about 45-degree angles up, you see this head, possible head, do this kind of a, goes out, holds for a few seconds, goes back, holds for about 8 seconds. You hear Daryl react to that too. He's going, now I'm understanding why he's reacting the way he is. Holds for about 8 seconds, and all of a sudden it goes a little farther out, and that's when you see Daryl. Or you don't see Daryl, but you see the camera just go limp. Like, okay. And that's when he starts losing it.
I don't know what these people are seeing, you know? They're obviously 30,000. They said there was 30,000 Bigfoot sightings in the United States last year. So,
There's like 30,000 reported sightings in the last century.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was this in the past year.
No, in the last century.
Like, what if there was just like a foot that we just saw off on the side of the road, like going into the woods?
Would he look like Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes, I don't know.
Talahina.
Welcome, Talahina.
I'm a Bigfoot. Dude, this is not public land. I'm telling you. This is private land. Where's the gate post?
That's carrying.
It's a sound that you will never forget.
You know, the only way I can describe them is like gibbons on steroids.
It scared me so bad I couldn't move.
I'm gonna say it sounds like almost like a diesel train.
And it was unreal. It's a two-tone sound. It's kind of like a roar and then a high pitch.
It was a lot louder than that.
You know, long,
much
man,
louder
long, you know.
And it will put goosebumps up your back. You hear that, you know, you don't, well, that's just no saying. It will put bumps up your back.
We don't know where we're at. So what we're gonna do is we think we turned too early left off the main road. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going down here where this T was in this trail, and we're gonna go back to the right instead of the left. We're gonna follow that trail to see if we see anything along the Second Creek bed, looking for a trailer or something. So that's what we're gonna do.
I only see Bigfoot in my dreams.
Kind of just walking around on some trails and we don't even know where we're at. Kind of sucks, but.
But look at it.
Hey guys, hold up.
Hey, Kyle, come here, look at this.
It looks like it could be a left foot. Or it looks like it could be like just a deer digging right there. But it looks like a big toe. 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 Toe.
How deep is that? 1 inch deep? How deep is your footprint?
Probably like a ½ inch. I can't even see it now.
How much do you weigh?
200 pounds.
Obviously this track could be a number of things. It looks kind of like what you would say a human track looks like. So I don't think that there can't be something out there. Obviously it's discouraging coming out here walking through the woods and not seeing anything, but this one little track that could be or could not be something. So I think that just a more specific times to come and research and things like that would be better in finding Bigfoot.
And that is my story.